Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I am Monica, the Kismet Chemist. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Welcome to the family. It's an honor to have you here. If you're returning, welcome back, my loves. I have missed you. All right. I don't know how many of you guys saw my thumbnail teaser post on the community page. But I do have COVID. I still have shingles. So I'm pretty run down right now. I had already preset this reading a day prior to me testing positive for COVID. And literally that same day is when the symptoms really started hitting hard. And so I spent all weekend in bed, but I did make it a point to spend some time with each of the energies to channel the messages. And I sat and thought about, moving this reading to another time, pushing it back, doing it in writing, maybe creating a PDF for you guys, because writing is significantly easier for me right now. It's surprisingly less physically consuming. And it has actually been helping with the outrageous like headaches and pressurization in my head from being sick. But I kind of vacillated back and forth with, you know what, I'm just going to do it and just keep going with the original plan. And I kept getting this image. And the image was, go with the original plan, but do it this way. It literally was like each pile's guides just kind of came in, and all of them collectively sat down with my guides, sat down with me, and were like, all right, we know you want to get these messages out. We know you really honor your filming schedule. You honor what you've committed to with this, and we don't want to impact you any further. We want to, respect what you want. Let's work together. It was such a beautiful, like, collaborative channeling experience. And they showed me just read the intro messages, talk about the collective energy, and then do one card for each placement. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. Because then I can have all the cards out and conserve my own energy by not, using a broader picture and just kind of relying on what they bring through with the cards and the direct channeling instead of, that buildup that I like to do. So we're going to do this in a more simplistic way as far as the cards goes. I'm still going to honor whatever messages come through, of course, because that's what I'm here for. And because of how I'm feeling, I am going to open my Reiki channel and have that energy flowing through. And instead of just keeping it solely within my body, I'll have it flowing out of me as well. If you guys want to get just kind of like here's a booster, here's a protection within your physical body kind of Reiki channeling, by all means, feel free to accept that if you want to, because, it's going to be there. You'll see me grabbing Gatorade. I've got some coffee to help with the headaches as well. The caffeine helps. And yeah, I'm keeping hydrated and whatnot. So let's get into it. So we are talking about Sagittarius season this year, and Sagittarius season, when you guys watch this, I believe will be the following day. Let me see here. This is how I've been. Yeah, it's the 20th today. I literally I check the date like 6 times a day right now because I don't know what day or date it is. Everything is just kind of running together, and that's okay with me. But this reading will be coming out on the 21st. Sagittarius season falls on the 22nd. Guys, if you guys are sitting through this intro, like, well done. just well done. I have found a lot of humor in how I'm feeling. But I really appreciate you guys. Like, you can tell I'm kind of spacey before I actually open my channel. I am incredibly drained. So with the Sagittarius season, there's a lot of tension in the planets. Mars and the sun conjuncting, they're squaring off with Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn in Pisces is really making collective compassion, collective empathy, collective consciousness a really hyper focus as far as the impact that our preconceived notions have upon the collective and the universality of compassion and empathy, and the understanding that empathy is not about blanket allowances. It's about understanding the deeper emotions occurring within any given situation, within the people involved in those situations, and understanding that those emotions exist, but the thought process being created based off of those emotions may not be accurately reflecting what the emotions are saying. And when we understand that on a deeper level, then we can actually access our empathy and utilize it when there is conflict, when there is, I don't even like to call it communication, when it's just like people standing there and saying, this is this and this, and not hearing anything, but they're not hearing themselves, or we're doing that. And now we can take our empathy, we can take our empath abilities, and we can understand the deeper layers of it so that we can say, okay, I understand that this is what you're saying, but I also understand that you're saying that this is based off of a feeling that you have within yourself, and the feeling that you have within yourself is something that your mind is trying to compute. It's trying to formulate, but your mind doesn't necessarily know how to express the emotion completely without saying it in the way that you are. So how about I give you my perspective on what that emotion feels like to me, and we can talk things out. And it requires us all to learn that communication is not just about talking. It like my communication here with you guys, it is not just about me here sitting and spouting words. It's not. I have to listen to the energies. I have to be open to the energies, because otherwise these messages would be false, fake, disingenuous, and inauthentic. It would be something that tore apart my own conscience if I were to do that. And it would be spreading more illusions into the world. So I need to make sure that I'm very mindful of all the different types of communication styles just in doing this reading. And this is not even me sitting down with someone one-on-one or sitting down in a group and doing this. Communication is not just about speaking. It's not about saying what's on our mind or saying what our beliefs are, saying what our truths are. Communication is two ways. It is speaking and listening. And when we listen or when we hear, we need to listen, and not doing this to react, not doing it in order to respond, but doing it to hold space, doing it to understand, doing it to bridge the gap between one person and the next, so that we understand that if we want unity, we want understanding, we want equality, we want to be seen and heard. The biggest reason why we want those things and find ourselves not getting it has nothing to do with the outside world. It has to do with the fact that we're not giving ourselves those things enough, that we're finding it outside of ourselves because the universe is trying to help us and we can't see that. And, emotions get riled up and then the mind goes where it goes. And, it's this big, huge, like building snowball that it just gathers snow as it's coming at us all. And this Sagittarius season, when we're talking about adventures, we're talking about learning to hear and to feel communication within ourselves in a much more respectful, honoring way, but in a way that we keep seeking out in the world to receive or to experience. What we want to experience and receive out there, we must first give to ourselves so that we understand when we actually interact with that, oh, this is what it is, because you have a frame of reference, because you've experienced it for yourself, because you've given it to yourself. I hope that makes sense. So the collective energy we're working with here is the Ingu's rune, as well as the card, the moon's reflection and accept responsibility, which I love this. And this is the collective channeled message. And then after this, before I read this, after this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the reading breakdown into the beginning portion of the meditation music so that you guys can see what everything is for. And if you want to screenshot it for, your reference or whatever, that way I'm not kind of clogging up every pile with it. I'm trying these two methods out. You guys can feel free to let me know which one you prefer. Do you prefer it before the meditation? Do you prefer it before the piles? I also want to make a caveat here about the noise that you might hear in the background. I do have my heater on. I am covered in a blanket. I'm wearing, comfy, cozy, warm clothes. But I am getting the chills on and off. So I apologize if that noise is annoying. I ask you to just please be gracious with me and understand that it's literally just because of how I'm feeling. So let's get into the channeled message for you guys. Collectively, we are working with the moon's reflection, with accept responsibility, and the rune Ingus. So I got more often than not, we find ourselves upon a certain cycle or step on the path we've been walking in which the energy begins to press upon us from every direction. A pause, a moment in time and space we are called to, pressured, not harshly. It's not a harsh pressure, but lovingly, asking us to look up. Look up from the feet that you are walking upon. Look up and look around. All around you. Focusing upon each next step we know we must take, it steals our awareness from the surroundings. As we collectively move from the shadowy, hidden, and oftentimes forbidden realms awoken through the light of the sun, penetrating into the depths of scorpionic energy, we're crossing through to this eager, excitable fire energy that comes hand in hand with Sagittarius. And we can feel it. And we know that Sagittarius is adventures. Every time I'm in Sagittarian energy, or we are going through Aries season, which is my 9th house and it's ruled by Sagittarius, I can feel it. That let's go on an adventure. Let's go on a trip. Let's expand. Let's explore. And it fills me up with like this frenetic excitement. I feel it with Sagittarius, but it was a very different feeling. The quivering anticipation seeks to fill us with the warmth of the hearth and the heart. And yet, we still have the pressure to look up. Look to each side, look up, look out, forward and back. No new steps, no further trepidation. Right now we feel full of the adventurous anticipation. As the mother who knows the child is approaching birth, that eager, rushing energy pulls. And I got this in like very strong energy, but pause, rest, wait. It's coming through ever stronger. Pause, rest, wait. This right now is the time to witness oneself from within before expanding out. Just as our actions determine our path, inaction for rejuvenation builds the confident excitement of this new life coming to take its first breath. We choose our life, our journey, and how we interact with each experience. So too do we carry the responsibility to honor the pause, the pulling to go within, the restful inner awakening upon the cusp of the outer forward loosed arrow. The time to look around and witness. Witness the healing all around you. Witness all that you have done, all that you have overcome, everything that has brought you right here to this very moment. Let yourself see it. Not just, oh my God, I went through this and I went through that, but see. Let yourself see, let yourself perceive what you have done to overcome. The nights spent crying, the days confused, the loss, the pain, the anguish, the struggles that you have continued to navigate through, getting up out of bed, walking forward, not letting this world or your situation beat you down, and not letting it rob you of your belief in yourself, in spirit, in your guides, in a better life, in the goodness of humanity, even when we can't see it. Don't let those pieces, those crucial moments of your true strength and inner love keep being in the background while you're watching your feet, each next step that you're taking. The time right now to look around and witness the healing as an adventure is here. It is home. It is within. To engage is your full choice and responsibility. It is a new dawning of healing through adventures. Will you join in? And I love how the final message was this question. Are you willing to see healing as an adventure instead of as this long, drawn out, endless spiral of trauma and pain and sadness and emotions and understanding and confusion and all of it, the chaos, all of the chaos that we contain within ourselves? Yeah, we can see it that way, but can you see it as an adventure? Whether you have to be Peter Pan or a swashbuckling pirate, or see yourself as Sherlock Holmes and the detective who needs to go and investigate and discover and understand, or you want to see yourself as Marie Curie and you're discovering penicillin. whatever penicillin represents for you as Marie Curie, whatever you want to do to shift this perspective on what healing feels like. You have the ability to do that and watch as the world starts reflecting that back to you when you honor the time to go in and to look around and to witness the beauty of your life, the expression of your life, the strength of your soul, and the absolute impervious nature of your heart. That is what we are collectively called towards, what we collectively are being offered. And because of that, Sagittarius season felt very exciting, very adventurous. And for the first time, and I don't know how long, it felt like there wasn't a single bit of that adventure and excitement and curiosity that was pulling to the outside world. It all felt internal. It felt like discovering oneself and realizing how fun you can have with this stuff instead of how heavy it has to be. So we have 4 piles. This is like one of the longest intros I've ever done, and I'm okay with that because it just feels right. But pile 1, we have moon cycles with the word patience and the blank rune, which is the unknowable, the unknown, the All-Father, the Odin rune. Pile 2, we have the card The Moon's Moment with keyword synchronicity and the symbol of Kano. Pile 3, we have the card The Falling Moon, release blocks, with the rune Berkano or Berkana. And pile 4, we have the rune Talk to the Moon, communicate, with the rune. Wow, we have the card. Did I say rune? I meant card. We have the card Talk to the Moon and communicate with the rune Fehu. So I'm going to let you guys sit with this. If you guys have gotten this far, let me know. I'm impressed and also so deeply humbled and grateful because I always feel like my intros are the number one most skippable part of my videos. And I appreciate when you guys actually stick around and hear both messages. So I'm going to go ahead and put on some meditation music and sit with the energies, sit with the messages, sit with the piles, sit with your guides, sit with your higher self. Let yourself be guided. Timestamps are in the description box below. The reading breakdown will open up this for us all. So without dragging this on any further, let's get that meditation music for you guys, and I'll see you at your piles. Good. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the first card, the moon cycles and patience, along with the rune of the blank rune, well, the blank rune, the rune of the blank, guys, Okay, we're going to get through this together. The rune of the All-Father, the unknowable, the unknown. This is your message about this Sagittarius season, what adventures await. So one of the things that I didn't mention, because it was kind of a surprise, and I'm going to tell every pile in the beginning, is each of the piles, I was led to using a different tarot deck because the adventures are different. And the adventures, the energy, the theme, the core of it are tied to the specific tarot deck. So you guys have the Light Seers Tarot up here. And what I channeled was, this is about the flames of adventure. And me personally, I love that message that came through, the flames of adventure, because we have the moon cycles and patience card here. And I couldn't help but think about human design and the reflector type of human design. Because the reflector type of human design, they say the strategy for making decisions for them is to wait a full lunar cycle, which is approximately 28 to 29.5 days. So they're asking you, you are asked a crucial and important and a, life-changing question. What are you going to do? And the best way to handle that for a reflector is give yourself a month. I'm a human design projector type, and with a projector type and my strategy, which is emotional decisions, I give myself a 3-day rule. A lot of the times, like when I hear something that I think is exciting, or when I am asked to go out, to go do something where my energy is going to potentially be drained, or I'm going to be using, my energetic resources and interacting with the outside world, I need to give myself the time, because a lot of the times the excitement of the other person and me, because I love them and whatever, I'm like, oh yeah, that's going to be super fun. And I hit about, midday, and I'm like, ugh. And then by the next morning, I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I agree to that? So I learned that, give myself 3 days, let myself work through the highs and the lows and all of that. And if I feel like I'm going to have the resources after those 3 days, then take the answer, or make the answer, take the offer, what have you. When you're a reflector and you have to wait, there's suggesting wait 30 days. Wait for the moon to do a full cycle. The level of patience you have to have. Do you want to move to this place? And you have 30 days. Not everybody understands that. Some of you may be human design reflectors. I'm not. You don't have to be. But here it's sometimes when we are engaging in the energy and the activity of patience, we are engaging in the unknown. Humanity as a whole has a very reactive nature. And this is, I am lumping myself in that. So I don't want to upset anyone. I mean, it can be upsetting to think of that because, well, I'm not a reactive person. We're all reactive. We are all reactive. We all have emotions. To say that we're not reactive is to disregard 90% of the way that we interact with the world until we come into this. We come into learning patience, learning to listen, learning to hear, learning to wait, learning to pause. And now we're back to that collective energy. With you guys, there is this deep and profound wisdom from learning patience in your life. And this is the energy that you're coming into Sagittarius season with. So I am going to pause real quick, let my cat out of my bedroom because she is dying at the door and I'm sure she wants to go down and eat, my amazing fat cat Bella. And then I will read your channeled message. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, my loves, I'm back. I did want to make a mention or make a note of the fact that when I paused the video to go let Bella out, it paused at exactly 5:55, which is an energy of change. It is a divinely powerful energy of change and adventure. And that's what we always forget about the energy of the number 5. It's not just about change. We get stuck in the change energy because change can be difficult. It can be hard. We can feel like it is unwelcome. But 5 is also about adventure, creativity, expression. You know, you have Leo and the 5th house energy, and we forget it. You know, you think about the 5th planet from the sun. We're not including the moon. We're looking at the solar system. So the 5th planet from the sun, you have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter. Number 5, expansion, adventure. I don't know who needed to hear that, but I think it's really cool. All right, so let's read your channeled message. It says, the light of the moon in the twilight starry skies ebbs and flows, her face always the same, in different phases and places. When joined in day, meeting the cycle of the sun, she rests, moves in death, for her birth to come once more. Pile 1. The tangibility of fear, insecurities, and death can leave us in a state we believe or mentally conceive to be emptiness. That which appears empty is readying itself to receive the overflow. When life comes shuddering and tumbling into thick, hazy dust, we fear taking breath, for will we not take in the destruction with the breath? Breathe in, pile 1. Breathe in the tiny minutia of creative essence. The eyes see one thing, the mind determines identity, but the soul understands. It feels, it knows. That which appears as suffocating dust from death and destruction is more than the illusion reveals. Close your eyes. Breathe in the essence of loving creation. We do not always know what the soul understands. The darkness may feel as death, but the magic of divine trust is now breaking you open, freeing the chains from you, so you may feel the fullness of the fires of spirit creation. Enter, exit, exist, and come fully into embodiment. Fear not what arises with, nor challenges without, for you've opened to trusting. The patience in feeling your way beyond the eyes and mind has brought you to the centered storm of calm. This is what I would only ever be able to describe as radical acceptance for a sort of transference. Illusions for truth, doubt for trust. It does not end but dissipates into the motes of energy all around you. Transference fans the flames. Ashes to creation, essences. It is a new alchemy, your alchemy cycles. I forgot, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I forgot the way that these messages came through for all the piles. because normally when I'm flowing in these energies, I'm less in my incredibly creative, like this is stuff that I do when I journal. Because I want to make sure that when I'm here and channeling messages for you guys, that it's something that translates from the way that my mind perceives and understands it to the way that you would perceive and understand it. And all of these messages came through like this. All of them had some like, holy crap, what the heck? Your message is about trust. It's transference. When the message of transference came through, I got Einstein, and the energy is neither created nor destroyed. It changes from one form to the other. It shifts. It moves from one place to the other. And on a spiritual level, we see this with humanity. We live, we breathe, we experience our life. And when we die, we don't just like, it's not just like the death of our energy. Our soul goes into the spirit, but our body also is transformed and changed and becomes something different and gets put in the ground for some of us, or cremated, and our ashes are spread for others of us, and what have you, we change our energy when we die. Even in a physical sense, it still changes, but it's never gone. It's never destroyed. So when we hear that and think about it, we keep it in a rational mind. But that means that everything that we contain within ourselves, we can transfer it. We can transform it. We can change it into something different, because that's the nature of energy. That's the nature of change. And that is the nature of humanity. We want change. We want to change these things, but it's about knowing what to change, how to change, where to change, and what the right change is for us. This is about an inner journey. This is about you coming back to life in a more authentically creative way, and creativity, a creative life. It's determined based off of what you define it as. Our minds want to define things. They want to label things. Our emotions rise up, and then we label it as, I feel this way or I feel that way, instead of simply going, okay, this is what I'm feeling. Now, what is it telling me? And instead of applying preconceived notions, or what we label it, on the chart of smiley faces or frowny faces, we go, what does it really mean? And that is the energy that I got with your channel message, is what does it really mean? And when I let it come through, it came through in a completely different way. And it's because of the choice of how to use this energy, how to work with it, how to change it, how to transfer it, how to let go of constructs. And that takes patience. That takes working with things that are simply unknowable, and accepting the fact that there are things that are unknowable, because to know these things is to define them. It's to label them. It's to identify them. And this Sagittarius season is pulling you into changing that concept, changing that structure within yourself. So let's take a look at the theme of it here. We have the 9 of Pentacles. This is why. What is your concept of independence and wealth and peace and prosperity? What is your concept of your own empowerment? How do you label it? How do you define it? How do you relegated into this or that? How does society impact it? All of these things, our rational brain, our intellectual brain, it will kick on and it'll be like, well, it's this and it's this. Or, how do I define independence? Then I think about Beyonce. But go to Merriam-Webster's dictionary and look up the definition and be like, that's how I define it. But independence, autonomy, sovereignty, these are concepts that we're asked to think about what it really means, not just for ourselves, but for ourselves in spirit, ourselves in the world, ourselves in communication with everything. So your theme is redefining your independence, your autonomy, your sovereignty, your authority, redefining all of the concept of what you are capable of holding within yourself. It's that overflow that's ready to be filled up. Redefining everything that you have and contain within yourself so that you now have a blank canvas for your life. So let's see the archetypal energy for you guys. We have the guide, inheritance and correction. I'm going to keep using we because I don't like to separate myself from humanity and from collective energy, because in a way I contain the same energy within myself. That's how I'm able to channel these messages. We seek guidance, and this has the energy of air. We seek guidance in our mind. We want someone to tell us how to think, what to think, how to perceive this life. Perception is based off of our senses. And the rational mind will say the senses, there are 5. There are 5 senses. The rational mind will tell us that is how we build our perception based off of the experiences within our 5 senses, and they forget intuition. They forget conscious awareness. They forget that we contain more than just physicality. We contain more, we are more. And so in that, what this archetype is speaking of is not about finding a guide. It's not about tapping into your guides. It's about guiding your mind, guiding this energy in a new way, guiding yourself through the death, the darkness, the seemingly emptiness, guiding yourself through, because you're operating out of the higher awareness, out of the intuition, out of the psychic realms or spiritual realms, out of the Akash. You're operating differently. You're operating out of the unknowable and the unknown. And in order to operate in that way, you have to accept going with the inheritance. We have to accept the inheritance of stardust in our systems. We have to accept the inheritance of ancient awareness that is contained within ourselves, because we have genetics, because the way that humanity came to be left us with a signifier of how we have come together upon each one of our births. That signifier is the DNA. It's the combining of the foundational essence of life between two people to create another or others. And that next generation does it again and again and again. And so we carry the origin within ourselves. We carry that inheritance within ourselves. And the awareness and experiences of the ancients are available to us because we're here to correct the thoughts. We're here to correct the separation, the division, the dichotomy. We're here to correct the prejudice and the inequality, but we're here to correct it in a significantly different way than what is occurring right now. Wow. Okay, you guys. Wow. Okay. Let's find out what is awakening within your curiosity here. Me talks, repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Card 39 reduces to a 12. We've got Hangman energy. And then a 3, the Empress energy. The pause before the creation. The cleanse before the new energy comes in. This is about you discovering new ways of cleansing and clearing. And you know what, you guys, one of the ways that I always work through just about everything is journaling. I have hundreds of journals, and pages and pages and pages. And sometimes I will write really big. Sometimes I will start narrowing what I'm writing. Lately, I have literally thrown away 4 pens in 2 days because I've gone through the ink so fast and written, tens of pages. I think I'm up to like a total of something like 50 something or bordering on 60. But in the past, prior to, this past weekend, I would get a tarot spread. I would get tarot cards. I would get oracle cards, and I would neatly box up my journaling sessions. This is the intention. This is what I'm evaluating, all of that. And it gave my mind time to trick myself. And then I just started free flowing this weekend. And I stopped defining the way that this was working. And I stopped looking at, any kind of interaction with the outside world that would trigger something internally in my mind and trigger something within my energy field and then go and write about it. I eliminated that concept that is someone else's idea and someone else's this and someone else's that. And I need to get my inspiration from within, because I was getting my inspiration from within. I was interacting with energies that gave me that. And the more that I did it, the more that I felt this sense of healing in my own mind, in my own heart, in my own energy, in my own soul. So my point here is it's not always about taking a salt bath, taking a spiritual bath, saging, using Palo Santo. It's not always about lighting a white candle for purification and cleansing. It's not about that. This is about learning yourself in a new way. It's about breaking free of the patterns and the constructs. Not because we're seeking a new one, not because we have an agenda or an intention, but just do it. Because the unknown is your energy. The unknown is what is right here. And we don't like the unknown because we don't know it. We can't label, we can't identify, we can't define, we can't narrow, we can't any of it. We have no control. The greatest detox I've ever gone through, I'm still going through, is in realizing control, power. All of it is illusions. It's illusions. Choice is different. We can choose things, and then things play out how they do. But we don't have control over things. A choice is merely a energy shift into a new action. This is about you detoxing you in a new way that gives you some different perspective of yourself that is hard to access. It's like this perspective of you. You have it. It's within you. It's been coded in your DNA for millennia. But accessing it it's like doing a Rubik's Cube while you're colorblind. This is about you realizing that the colors never mattered. It's about what is right for you. Is a Rubik's Cube only right if all of the sides have the same color? Or are they right when we blend them together, when we mix it up, and when we create an adventure for us to undo? When you overanalyze and intellectualize something like the Rubik's Cube, which they do, they have that. There are mathematical equations and sets of step by step. This is how you solve a Rubik's Cube, any Rubik's Cube in, X amount of time. And people do it. And the only real excitement or adventure or change or challenge to that is, I wonder if I can do it faster, or I wonder if I can do it with a Rubik's Cube with more squares. But it's still the same over and over and over again. Same action, same repetition. You're not breaking yourself out. So this is about just throwing all the rules out the window and making a decision about what it is that it means to you. And we come right back to what the theme of this is. Because when we decide what it means to us, when we choose, that's when that feeling of excitement and inspiration and creation come alive within us. So let's take a look at the, earthly connection or aid. This might be just a crystal for you guys to access, or you could work on tapping into the energies, even if you don't have the crystal itself. So you guys have the apophyllite. It says, apophyllite acts like a teleportation device to places transcendent, of course. Often sourced from enchanted India, birthplace of Tantra, yoga, Nagchampa, apophyllite clears skepticism, cynicism, and logic from the spiritual path. I promise you guys I didn't read this. This is why I'm tickled pink right now. Who needs it? Anyone looking for that ray of light from on high to hit them with something good. Where to put it? Wherever you practice religion, meditation, channeling, praying, wherever you practice you. When to use it? When the spiritual life feels like a moving target, when you feel skeptical about your true purpose on earth, and when you feel like your yeah, but thoughts are dishonoring the innermost you. It says, beam yourself up, way up. I am so tickled pink by this. And that is one of my grandma's sayings and one of my mom's sayings. I'm tickled pink because this stone, all of it literally is exactly what the Me Talks is saying. It's your channeled message. It's all of it. It's now let's change. Let's go somewhere else. But we're not going to a different place, and we're not disowning where we're at. We are choosing to take all of the constructs out. Like, it's breaking everything down to its smallest foundational particle of energy, throwing it up in the air and watching as it looks like dust, and our mind tells us it's dust and that's destruction. And then we breathe it in, and our worst fears become the greatest jokes. Because you're breathing in life and creation. Just because we deconstruct or destruct something does not mean that it does not have the essence of creation. That is the essence of everything. This is about you taking the power of choice and breaking some of the most persistent and stubborn mental constructs completely out. It's utterly mystical, and I am really excited for you, Pile 1. So this is your message for Sagittarius season. Thank you guys so much. This is exciting for me. I am really glad. I feel so much better. Again, I was, opening my Reiki channel. If you guys want to accept any kind of energy, feel free. Thank you guys. Thank you to your guides. Thank you to my guides. Thank you to the Great Spirit. Thank you to the essence of everything, which is creation. Thank you for love. Thank you for Pile 1. Thank you for all of this. Pile 1, go kick ass in Sagittarius season. If you guys resonated with this, you can support my channel. I would appreciate that, or support me as a author and creator. Do that by liking the video, commenting, sharing, subscribing. In my description box, there are links to donate. And there's also the link to my Amazon author page. I have 9 books published, hardcover, paperback, Kindle Unlimited. Go check those out. I literally pulled out my Pluto retrograde guidebook from 2022 this weekend because I started on this curiosity wagon. And guys, I tell you what, I kind of wish I hadn't labeled those for a year, even though they are specifically designed for that. There's so much in that I was like, oh, for my life right now. So yeah, this is where I leave you. I love you guys. Thank you again. Have a beautiful day. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose the second card, the Moon's Moment with Synchronicity and the rune Kano, this is your message for Sagittarius season. So, all of the messages so far have been longer than I expected, but the energy has been amazing. And I feel like I should just mention, in case you guys skipped the intro, which if you did, totally understand. It was like a half-hour long intro. Like, holy crap, Monica. But I am flowing Reiki through, and I'm offering it if you want it. It's just kind of this all-around kind of healing energy. And I'm doing that because I have both shingles and COVID. And as you guys can tell right now, it makes everything feel really slow for me because I am really tired. My body is really like battling a lot internally. But when I open my channel, it gets a lot easier, and the Reiki really does help me. So pay it forward and all that fun stuff. Plus, I just really like giving away Reiki for free. So with all that said, we're going to be talking about this theme energy, this energy that you're coming into Sagittarius season with. And we've got the moon's moment and synchronicity, but we also have waves, and we have the waning and the waxing moons and a clock. And we can hate, we can genuinely come to hate hearing certain terms and phrases and concepts within spirituality, within religion, within, common thought processes within the world. One of the ones that got to me for a really long time was, it's all in divine timing. It's all in divine timing. Because sometimes the divine's timing is not what I would time things as. And that's really annoying. Like, just blatantly, it gets to be annoying. And then you get all these synchronicities. We see, things falling in line, things falling into place. And we're like, well, you know what? I've had these moments before, and I've thought that it was divine timing, and I've had all these synchronicities, and it wasn't. What now? Do I trust it? Do I lean into it? Do I wait it out? What do I do? And we can get stuck in that place. And it's like watching the clock tick, 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 tick. And it feels monotonous, and it feels pointless. And you guys might hate this too. Because again, I'm giving you guys something that I have grown to hate. But no matter how we might feel about it, there is a point, there is a purpose, and there is a meaning behind all of it, motivating all of it, influencing all of it. There is that there, and we don't always have access to it. We don't always know. We don't always understand until we do. It's the beauty of divine timing. It's the beauty of synchronicity. We don't get it until we get it. And it can make us so lonely and so frustrated. Pile 2. One of the things that I was led to do for this reading in particular, for all the piles, is each of the piles has a different tarot card up here. The tarot cards are the theme of the inner adventure that I don't want to say that you're going to go on, because I don't have the authority to say that that's what's absolute, because it's up to you, that you are being offered, that is being made available for you. You guys have the Shadowscapes Tarot. The Shadowscapes Tarot is about an inner child adventure. So with that said, let's go ahead. I'm going to read what your channeled message is, and then we will get into the cards. Pile 2. Have you ever heard the one of these things is not like the other ones? One of these things just don't belong. Pile 2, there's an energy of realization, finally. And I heard it in like an exasperated little kid's voice. Like when a little kid is asking, can I do this? Can I do this? And the parent is like, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. And then finally you're like, can I do this? And you have kind of resigned yourself to receiving the same answer. And then the parent goes, yeah. And you're like, finally. That is how that came through. There's an energy of realization, finally, of some belief of yourself that never belonged to you. The kind of energy I can describe as it's time to get real, to grow up, to be a functional, expected adult, a upstanding member of society, to do the right thing, to do what is, what you're meant to do. And it feels like it was spoken from someone or multiple people that you respected. But due to a lack of awareness of the projections that they were placing, this was a belief that you took upon yourself, but they didn't belong to you. It was someone else's beliefs, because whether it was because they felt like they weren't in that energy, in that role, engaging in that, or because they were taught that that is what is expected and that is what they are meant to teach you. It depends. But this belief that it's time to do this and do that, the words themselves are up for our own personal interpretation, but the impact was, let me pack away my inner child. Let me pack away these things that I love, these things that I enjoy, these things that give me pleasure or happiness or that make me feel light, these things that make me laugh, that make me smile. All of that is part of the inner child, and we lock it away because somebody somewhere told us it's time to grow up. So we don't want to be a disappointment, and we don't want to be dysfunctional, and we don't want to be disrespected. We don't want all of these things that the implication of this belief creates. So we take it on, push our inner child down, push the inner child away, push that part of us, that innocent, that authentic, true part of us. We push it away as though it doesn't have a place, not just in our life, but in the world anymore. And everything is serious, everything is heavy all the time because we don't engage in play in the way that our inner child needs. And then when we try to heal it and we hear society or spiritual teachers or healers or psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, counselors, what have you, buy yourself a toy that you would have wanted as a child, or go do this or go do that. Those are all actions, valid actions, to help you feel like you're embracing your childlike nature. But your inner child is still locked away because of these beliefs. So you're giving yourself, these enjoyable experiences that you had as a child, but you're not letting the inner child back out. Have you seen the signs, pile 2? Have you felt that pull to go swing, to skip rocks on the river, to gaze at the clouds and imagine the stories of heroes, dragons, kings, and queens, and all the far off places you created as a child? The belief that your worth exists only when you are, as another describes, to be functional and a worthy adult. It wasn't meant to be your truth. It was a decision that you made out of respect, out of love, out of fear. Now is the time for you to look within, to the free, spirited child that you carry. Listen to the stories, the imagination, and allow the artist within you to come back to life. You are the prince and Snow White. You are the creator, the artist, the poet, the bard. A grand adventure within you awaits your engagement. The journey and mission is to slay the perspectives holding your creative essence at bay. There's no book nor teacher. You are the only one with a map. Follow now the arrow guiding you to the signs and let your hero's journey for your artistic inner child commence. This pull to go swing, or suggestion to go swing and engage in those things, even though I got imagery of it in a kind of physical way, it is so deeply internal where you're being called. It's like going to sleep and you slip into a dream world where, I'm seeing Shrek and you have to go and do all of this stuff and rescue the princess. And the princess doesn't want to be rescued. So you guys end up battling each other, and you don't realize you are both of these things. This is about you realizing all that you are within and letting yourself really come back together. Come back to yourself. With synchronicity and you having this inner child adventure, you're creating the synchronicities within yourself because you are the creator of the map, because you created the dungeon to begin with. And the key that you have in your pocket now to open the dungeon door, that key is the awareness of the projections, the awareness of the way that locking all of this away has locked away such a crucial, important part of yourself. The part of yourself that looks at the idea and the concept. It's funny.
What's the reminder for?
Alexa, stop. That is curious because I didn't say Alexa at all. But my Alexa heard me and asked, what is the reminder for? What is the reminder for? And I take all of that into significance here. What is the reminder for? Why do you need to be reminded of this part of you? Let's actually find that out, because I think it's here. This is about the theme of the adventure, the Queen of Pentacles. The reminder, the theme here, the reminder is the remembrance that you're the creator. Mother, father, child, you're all of it. That any and every obstacle and challenge that we feel we're coming up against externally is an internal battle that we've already created for ourselves, which means that we can create the solution. When you look at a tree and you see the branches, you can focus on the branches, look at the branches, look at the leaves, look at the flowers or the fruit or the nuts that are growing on it or what have you. Look at how there's a bird's nest on that branch. And we focus on the branch. We focus on that part of the tree that is projecting out into the sky so we can see it, so that the birds can nest in it, so the squirrels can play on it. We see that branch off. And we don't spend enough time looking at the trunk, considering the trunk. This is about you realizing that your inner child is the foundation of that trunk. Everything that you've gone through is still within that inner child, but the inner child still contains the essence, the core, the innocence. The inner child still contains everything that makes you a functional, worthy, upstanding adult and member of society, because the inner child has not yet, nor will ever, forget the inherent value and worthiness of the self, regardless of anything external, because the inner child is consciously, permanently aware of the connection to the source, to the creator, to the great I am, to God, Buddha, whatever you define your higher power as. There's no questioning, no doubting, no any of it. It's there. And so we have to go internally. We have to allow ourselves to define certain things and to engage ourselves in certain things and to realize that we really are the creators of our life. All of it. The second that we start looking at outside of ourselves, outside of, the outside world, well, I didn't create X, Y, and Z. I didn't create the political, status of the world. I didn't create the wars. I didn't create cancer. I didn't create this. I didn't say that you did. You create your life. You create your perception. You create your interactions. But you don't create other people's. And that right there is the key. You don't create what other people believe. Which means when that belief came in, that thought, that perception came in from outside of yourself, you created it internally as yours because the person, the interaction, the desire to be loved and accepted, the desire to create your life as you want, you did nothing wrong in doing that. We all do that. And not everybody gets to this point, pile 2. Not everybody gets to the point where they finally have the key and the calling to go on the adventure. And make it fun, make it enjoyable. But remember, at the essence is the most loving, nurturing energy, because it's mother, maiden, crone, son, father, grandfather. It's everything. It's the child. It's the parents. It's all of it, all in one. That makes the core. And it is divine, unconditional love. Let's take a look at your archetype energy. The fate, accepting help and guidance. If we are the creators of our life, then we create our fate. Fate is the events that occur around us as a result of the actions we take in life based off the beliefs, the thoughts, the perceptions that we hold. That is what fate is. Destiny is different. Destiny is a grander plan playing out that we interact with. Both exist. This life is both these things together. And we have fire energy here. This is about you helping yourself. With the accepting help and guidance, I am seeing the map. But accepting help in this case is learning that you can say, okay, I need help on this. And asking yourself for it. And it doesn't mean that you have to do everything alone in life or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying sometimes when we need to go on an inner journey, we can overcomplicate it. And therefore we get stuck in the pre-action phase of doing it. But the action itself, because we're talking about an inner journey, depends on how you talk to yourself, interact with yourself, which means learning how to accept the help from yourself does not mean that you can't go to therapy or you can't talk to anybody or, there aren't messages out there or this or that. It means that you are able to stand in the creator of your own fate. And if you are the creator of your own fate, then you can allow an awareness of how the fate you are living in was created and how to cut the cord or the thread to what doesn't belong to you. I hope that makes sense. Because I can't structure it for you. Because if I structured it for you and you took my structure, you're again creating because of what I believe. Even with me channeling, the divine doesn't dictate how we create things. It just is there in support and helping. I haven't been able to find a way to explain that energy that I've been interacting with lately, but it's there. This is about you realizing that you're weaving your own fate so you can frog back, as you would say in crocheting, frog back, unstitch it, because there's a stitch that was missed. There's a hole, and it's not because you're lacking anything. The hole is an unfilled place within you, an unfilled connection within you, an unfilled truth within you that is filled with air, and it's like it's filled with fog. It's filled with the illusion based off of somebody else. And so when we frog back, when we go backwards, when we unstitch, we're able to take each of those stitches like a step or like a place on the map and pull it out so that we can make the conscious choice to reweave it or recrochet it fully with what we are choosing to work with. Wow. Okay. So I want to check out the curiosity that's awakening. Yeah. 41, Moon Maiden, new beginnings. That's what's awakening. It's a new understanding that beginning is only about starting. It's not a destination. It's not a placement. It's about starting. Where is the starting point? Or how do we have a new beginning. We have a new beginning by choosing to start. What do we choose to start? When do we choose to start? How do we choose to start it? It's all in our hands. That choice is in our hands. This is about you choosing where you want to start, how you want to start, and what it's going to look like. That is how you begin. What ends is the non-action or the non-choice. Once you make the choice, the state that you were in not making that choice ends. Now you've begun because you've made the choice. Beginning has already occurred. It just depends on when you start taking action. And when you take action, that depends on you. It's your choice. It's your fate. It's what you determine you want to weave. Wow. Okay. Guys, I love this message. I do. Because it's literally like, it's so empowering and it's frustrating and it's illuminating and it's exciting because it is everything opening. It's everything opening. Let's take a look at your crystal. This is your earthy or earthly connection and aid, something within the physical. You guys can access this crystal. You don't have to have the physical crystal with you. We can ask our guides to connect us to the energy. We can think about it, meditate on it, reflect on it, contemplate the crystal, the energy, the meaning. We can go look it up and all of that. If you guys can't access it in the physical for whatever reason. So you guys have the crystal jet. And it says, this jet is earthy and grounding. This true black mineraloid variety of coal is an ancient fossilized driftwood. Who needs it? Empaths and witchy types. Where to put it? To clear a physical space or your body of unwanted vibes. Swipe jet over the affected areas and tell toxic energy, spirits, and tensions to peace out. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. What the? This has happened before, but you guys do have the synchronicity card. And oh my gosh. Okay. When to use it? When asking for guidance from elsewhere. Think seance, guided meditation, hardcore tarot session, inner journey, guys. Jet can take the edge off of high vibe stones like moldavite and serpentine and is a wise old friend to bring as your +1 wherever your triggers are sure to be on your guest list. It says claim your space. This is claiming your fate, claiming your power, claiming your creative endeavors, claiming what is yours and cutting away what isn't. It's clearing out what isn't yours. It's right here. Guidance twice from elsewhere. This time it's just it's the inner child. I love this. Okay. Pile 2, this is what I have for you. I hope the Sagittarius season is incredible, illuminating, and just fun for you. I hope you smile more, laugh more, create more, experience more, and that every step of the way you do it loving all of yourself. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to your guides, my guides, the Great Spirit, for helping us all here today understand and believe in ourselves more and our ability to create. Thank you so much. Pile 2, if this resonated and you guys want to support my channel or oh my gosh, once I cut the channel off, my tongue just gets so heavy. If you guys want to support my channel or my creations, awesome. The way that you do that is liking this video, commenting, sharing, subscribing to my channel. There are also links in my description box. You guys can choose to donate, or you can go and check out my Amazon author page. I have 9 books available on Amazon. They are print on purchase kind of books. They are available in hardcover, paperback, Kindle, Kindle Unlimited. So yeah, go check that stuff out if you feel like supporting me. I'm going to leave you guys here. I really need some water and yeah, and some rest. Thank you guys again for, being gracious with me as I am navigating through COVID and shingles and all the fun stuffs. All right, my loves. Have a beautiful day. I will see you at my next reading. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the 3rd card, the falling moon with release blocks, and the Berkano or Berkana rune, this is your message about Sagittarius season. So before we get into any of it, I gotta mention this to you. So my husband comes home for lunch, from work, and I took a break to, spend some time with him. He and I are both like horribly sick right now. And he is toughing it out because he's the boss. And I'm here because, if I'm sitting, then I don't feel the world spinning like I am somehow shrunk down into like some miniature figure on the top of a top, spinning out of control. Or my favorite is like I'm on a ship in the middle of the ocean during a hurricane, standing on the deck of the ship, and just everything is topsy-turvy for me. Literally anytime I stand up. But my point here is not about that. I, spent time with him during his lunch break. We were both laying down. And I came back in here after he left to resume filming. And my cat, Winifred, was laying on the desk on top of the cards. And the reason why this is so funny, beautifully synchronistic, is because one of the unique parts of this particular reading was that each individual pile has a different tarot deck that I'm using, and each tarot deck has a specific adventure theme for Sagittarius season. And you guys literally have the deck Cats Who Rule the World, and your theme is about adventurous familiars. And lo and behold, I come in here and my fat, companion familiar cat, just love her to death, Winifred, is just laying here like, yep, I approve. So I had to mention that to you guys because it was such a funny, and like, I was like, get off, this is my reading. But it was so funny to me because I was like, oh, that's funny. Because once she got off, I looked down and I was like, oh yeah, this is pile 3. This is literally the cat tarot deck and pile. So guys, this is for you guys to laugh about, to be like, oh, good job, spirit. Because that's really, really what I was tapping into here with you guys, is this lightning, this laughter energy, this kind of like, okay, that's a cute synchronicity. So you guys chose the falling moon and release blocks with the Berkana or Berkana rune. And this is about releasing blocks to creativity, to newness, to the energy of birth. And I just heard channeled message. So I'm going to read you guys the written channeled message that I have for you, and then we'll talk about it. So it says, sometimes we close ourselves off from the very emotions we truly need to experience. External perspectives tell us we should negate our emotions, and even to the extent of labeling certain emotions as bad or low vibrational and a hindrance to manifestation. Yet to fully envision the life we are destined for and then align to it, we must allow ourselves to embody fully the emotions of that projected existence. Pile 3. This is the moment to allow your anger, your frustration, confusion, and insecurities that have been sourced in fear to flood through you like the Nile in the wet season. It is time to say enough is enough and put a definitive end to the mental struggles and vacillation from all the excess of external perspectives. Pile 3, it's time to reconnect with your wild side, to become Max and enter into the land of the wild things. Go to the local dollar store or discount store, buy glass cups, bowls, plates, etc. Now go break them. Scream and shout and feel the emotions course through you. Sometimes to enter the flow of life that we are meant to live, we must accept some rivers flow north rather than south, and you flow in your own way. No longer will the blocks of unfelt emotions for the sake of stoicism dam up within you. You need not seek something new, but rather to play in the energies, emotions, and youthful joy you have always held within you. Sometimes it is the love and joy of the loving animal familiars who remind us of the depth of emotions and connection from our hearts to others, which is the truest flow. Uncork the bottled emotions, howl with the wolves, frolic with the deer, and dive deep into the magical waters with the otters. Allow your full self to come to life once more and for good. When we are going through this life, and guys, lately I have had this overwhelming pull. I call it my intuitive pull to get a kind of finger on the pulse of some of the major issues and concerns outside of war, outside of fiscal and all of that. But the major issues and concerns that we have in, primarily from my understanding, in America with just humanity as a whole. And I am watching all of these commentators who are weighing in on gender dysphoria and gender identity, but they're also weighing in on racism and prejudice and division, all sorts of different topics, different themes. And then I have these tiny little teal swan YouTube shorts just sprinkled in there. And I'm watching these things and I'm getting this irritation because I've watched teal swan stuff before, and some of it is I cringe with it. And then all of a sudden I go through this massive shift and I start understanding things that she's saying from a different light, from a different perspective, from a different lens, because I myself am different. And now I'm getting her point. And this is not me supporting her, because here's the thing. I'm getting, all of these conservative posts and liberal posts. And while I 100% believe that bringing politics and religion into just about anything is going to just sour everything, one major thing that I'm noticing is the biggest issue with everything occurring here is the shoving down of our emotions, the refusal to acknowledge the emotions. And because we're refusing to acknowledge the emotions, we're giving the emotions a direct line and connection to our thoughts. And our thoughts don't know completely how to translate these emotions because we don't have that emotional awareness. And so the thoughts do whatever they can to give you some sort of mental structure of it. And then you say these things, and it's all being lost because there's a translational error occurring. We're not realizing that we're blocking ourselves up from a different awareness and understanding because we don't know how to find it. And so we decide, this is what I'm going to believe. This is what it is. And the frustration and the anger and the irritation, because you can't find that within yourself because it's not taught, it's not supported, it's in essence lacking outside of yourself to give you that reflection and point of reasoning. We get caught up in the energy of feeling as though everyone else is mistaking who we are, and we absolutely have to know who we are as soon as we say something. And all of that just, it builds. It builds. And so more and more and more, the angers and the frustrations that we have, we're not allowing ourselves the authentic experience of it, which is to just acknowledge these emotions exist, experience them, let them flow through us before we sit with the after in the calm and reflect and say, okay, I got it out. How do I feel now? What am I experiencing now? What are my thoughts now? We've become reactive. I've gone through so many different spiritual phases where I pushed away different perspectives that I just simply wasn't ready to hear because I didn't necessarily agree with it. But I pushed it away and denied it because a part of me didn't necessarily disagree either. And in pushing things away, what we don't realize is the external action of pushing things away is an internal repression that we're giving to ourselves, that we're doing to ourselves because we don't know differently. Where you're at right now, pile 3, this energy of releasing the blocks with the Berkano rune is It's the tipping point of realization of my internal blocks exist not because of any one experience that I can identify outside of myself, whether it's something that I have witnessed or I have had actions taken against me or words taken, any of that. It's none of that. It's because I don't understand a part of myself or I deny the experience of a certain part of myself because of an ideology or a perspective or a lack of awareness because I wasn't taught this of how I feel, what I feel, and of recognizing the value of the emotions and the manner in which the thoughts surrounding the emotions are not always accurate to what the emotions are teaching me. They will give me a framework in symbolism. That was one of the hardest realizations for me because in realizing that, I realized that the only person holding me back is myself. The only thing keeping me from feeling optimistic and positive and joyful and happy and content and loved was me. It wasn't because of other people's actions. It was because of me. It wasn't because of anything that had occurred in my life. It was because of me. But it doesn't make me bad or wrong. It means that I am on this growth journey, this learning journey. Pile 3, sometimes we have to let go of any kind of framework that even implies blame because it takes us out of our ability to experience life. You're in this energy where right now you have an opportunity coming to you, a door opening, spirit and your guides. They feel so soft, like literally like soft fur, like baby animal soft fur that everybody loves so much. I love it. And it's like they're surrounding you with this to let you know that it's safe for you to experience the emotions that you don't have a full experience with, or that you believe in some way makes you bad or stops you from your growth, stops you from your healing. And you don't have to overanalyze or intellectualize any of it. You can just feel it, express it, and then allow yourself to feel the relief after the storm. It's your chance to realize how much happiness and joy and peace you can have within yourself by giving back to yourself all of those things in releasing your blocks. I want to hug you guys so bad. But let's take a look at the adventure theme. The death card. We fear death. We can fear it, or we understand that death is not just physical, but metaphorical and spiritual. And it is a process. It's an experience. It's a transformation. This particular death card, to me, it's speaking a lot about the adventure that is opening to you is a way of getting down to the structure, the bare bones of things, getting to that energy within yourself by letting yourself navigate through the shadows and through those emotions and through all of those experiences that you have had, that you have emotions on, that you're meant to feel so that you can start living your life as an active creator and participant, so you can realize more about yourself. It's here for you because there's so much within that is ready to come out. So let's take a look at the archetype. Yes, we have the twins, self-protection, dual natures. This right here is incredible. It's incredible. It's water energy. And this is, we go into those states. We create the blocks, not because we're ignorant, not because we're broken, not because we're damaged or inadequate, not because we simply don't believe that there is any causality to experiencing them. We do that because we're protecting ourselves. We're protecting ourselves in a way that we believe and perceive is the right way to do that. And so we feel that duality within. I have all these feelings, but these feelings are bad. These feelings are wrong. And if these feelings that I have are bad and wrong, I have to be bad and wrong. That is a qualifying statement of a mentality that has nothing to do with the emotionality. It has to do with perspectives and thought forms based upon experiences, other people, society, all of it. And it's okay, because the best part about twins is that if you can protect, if you can go into a self-protection mode in not experiencing them, then the opposite is true. You can protect yourself by experiencing them. This is why with Gemini energy, it's about the awareness that we are both human and divine. It's about understanding that you can embrace two seemingly oppositional energies, because oppositional energies are, scientifically speaking, but energetically as well, attracted to each other, which means that you are the point of the middle ground within yourself. This adventure, this journey is giving you the opportunity to experience the duality that is you without the need to define or identify or box something in. It's allowing you to feel all of the same things by experiencing its opposite. Let's take a look at your curiosity that's awakening within here. The wall with obstacles, 56, you were releasing blocks. What you're getting curious about is the nature of obstacles in our life and the correlation between the obstacles we experience outside of ourselves and the walls of protection that we build up throughout life based off of pains and anguishes and fears and repressions. This is, your guides are essentially saying, if you built the wall, then you can take it down. The obstacles that we face, they're not there to tell us that we're wrong. They're there to give us a point of reflection. If I feel like this is an obstacle for me, what is the deeper reasoning? The wall is not a tree. The wall is built. It's built on the ground or on the foundation, but it is not the foundation itself. So if you look at the concept of the tree has deep roots. So if you want to look at the obstacles are built upon a steady foundation, which means it's a renovation instead of destruction, instead of everything coming all the way down. It is the death card, not the tower. Experiencing the emotions in the way that your guides brought to me. It's meant to help you get back into being able to experience everything more fully instead of feeling as though you'll never experience the life that you desire. Because how can you manifest if you can't embody those emotions? Because there's a wall between you and those emotions completely. I want to take a look at your earthy connection and the help here. So you guys have the bloodstone. And what it is, bloodstone is an earthy green chalcedony or chalcedony. I should have seen this coming. I was thinking about how to pronounce that the other day, and I can't. I didn't even look it up. I was going to, though, but I just didn't. COVID brain or just sheer exhaustion from this. So it says, it's spattered with seriously activating red jasper. In the Middle Ages, some believe the red splotches on the stone surface were the blood of Christ. Who needs it? The constantly overworked and completely drained by the soul-sucking machinations of modern life. Or Capricorns. Where to put it? Wherever you do the important work, spiritual, physical, and psychological. When to use it? When you're totally bled dry and it's time to get into your body and start feeling your damn self. Sleep, get some exercise, take nourishment, and call on Bloodstone to drag your ass out of the house to the face of day, chin up, head high. And it says power up your vitals. So if you guys don't have Bloodstone or access to Bloodstone, You can always ask your guides to tap into the energy of the bloodstone. This is about you guys getting back up. I know it talks about the physicality of it, but this is getting back up in a grander sense, in a broader energy within yourself. It's letting go of everything that is weighing on your shoulders. The fears, the worries, the anxieties, the concerns, the angers, the frustrations, the irritations, letting go of those, letting them come out of you, and then choosing to be revitalized. And that revitalization, the bloodstone mentions the energy of that, but you can also tap into a familiar, if you have one, if you've got a cat or a dog or a guinea pig or a toad or a snake or anything, because it's a creature that doesn't tell you what to think, what to feel, whether you're right, whether you're wrong. It doesn't tell you how damned everything is, or how your experiences don't matter, or how you should feel this way, or you should perceive this way. They don't say any of that. What they do is they love you. They just love you, and they want to play, and they want you to be happy, and they want you to love them back. And sometimes that is the best way to start letting yourself feel those emotions. The unconditional love an animal has for their owner, it's a direct reflection of the worthiness of the owner in being loved and giving love. All right, pile 3, this is a message I have for you. I am so grateful for all of you. I want to say thank you so much for being here. I want to say thank you to your guides, to my guides, to the Great Spirit. Thank you for this collaboration. Thank you for the chuckle in the beginning. Thank you for the messages. Thank you for the help, the awareness. Thank you for pile 3. Thank you for opening this door for pile 3. And thank you for all the faith that you have in pile 3. It's quite profound. Pile 3, if this resonated and you guys want to support my channel and my creations, I would love that and deeply appreciate that. You can do that by liking the video, commenting on it, subscribing to my channel, sharing the video. You can go to the links in the description box. There are 2 links that you can donate to my channel through. There's also a link to my Amazon author page where you can find all of my published books. They are available in hardcover, paperback, Kindle, Kindle Unlimited. So pretty much whatever format via Amazon you guys desire. And yeah, any and every support really does make a difference in my life, on my journey. It just does. And I appreciate it. More than that, I appreciate you guys. So I love you, pile 3. I am sending you guys a huge hug, and I will see you at my next reading. Have a beautiful day. Bye. Hello, pile 4. If you chose the 4th card, the Talk to the Moon Communicate card, as well as the Fehu rune, this is your message about Sagittarius season and the adventure that is awaiting for you. I'm going to jump directly in to your channeled message. It says, what does magic mean to you, pile 4? Have you ever taken a moment to sit and put your hand over your heart? Feel it beating. Feel it showing up for you every day, beating, thumping, steadily. A magic within you that requires no muss or fuss. Have you ever noticed the sound of the wind in the trees when the branches are full of leaves? How about when the branches are bare and the core of the tree speaks and creaks and groans? Why is the farmer an example of symbiotic wealth? What is your, not mine, not your mother or father's, not some spiritual guru, but your perspective on it, pile 4? The farmer and rancher teaches us about giving, taking, receiving, and connecting. So I'm going to share with you what my perspective is. I remember the excitement of birthing cattle from my childhood. I remember feeling such love for the calves as they took their first breath and first steps. I remember my cousin lovingly stroking the mother's face and encouraging her through birth. The love and connection flowing between them, and then the times of sale and slaughter, which provided money, food, and nourishment for the family. People struggle these days with that concept, and they use so many arguments, but we're asked to look not to the actuality, but to the symbology first. Symbology and then application. It doesn't mean that you are negating what's going on in the world. It means that in order to understand, in order to learn what it is that you contain within you for wisdom, we have to stop and pause and ask ourselves what we believe and whether what we believe is based on something external to us, someone external, a group, a movement, an ideology, or whether it's something that we contain within ourselves. The next part is why I say this is about the symbology. Pile 4, what monetary value would you place upon your voice, your story, your wisdom? Now is the time to open up the communication within yourself, with your higher self, with your creator, with your intuition. Now is the time for you to define worth, value, and the self in relation to money, wealth, magic, and what you are lit internally from this fire inside. What lights you up that you want to share with the world? Pile 4, it is time now for you to open to the magic that you hold within, the intuitive foresight that you hold, and the truest value of your gift to the world. There is magic awakening from its slumber within you. New gifts, new ways of sharing, expanding, and weaving wealth, both in the realms of monetarily and the energy of love from your heart, thumping in magical rhythm. So shall it flow in all your life, and your generosity shall financially grow. One of the hardest things for us to do is to allow ourselves self-communication, to find what our truths are within ourselves, our beliefs are within ourselves. We live in a world where communication has become talking, not talking to each other, not talking together about something. It's talking to hear our own voices, talking at each other to push and push. My perspective is better. Your perspective is wrong. And vice versa. We have this huge humanitarian crisis of communication because we don't know how to hear ourselves. We don't know how to slow down and to listen and to hear and to hold space. And this doesn't mean no one has that. It means that the vast majority is struggling in that. And that makes it an even harder action to engage in. Because what am I going to do with internal wisdom if there is this story, this wisdom, this awareness, this help that I have, that I am fired up to bring to the world? And the world has forgotten to hold space. It can be so painful to know that you have a voice, a story, a purpose, an awareness, a wisdom, a calling, and to see and understand that from a view outward, what's the point? Because is anybody going to hear it? The better question is when you're interacting with the outside world, do you stop and hold space? Do you hear? Not just listen, but hear. Pile 4, I'm not accusing you, because what I want you to know is your guides want you to be aware that there is symbiosis in this world, symbiotic relationships in this world energetically. Which means if you answered yes, but you felt like, oh, what are you trying to imply? What are you trying to say? I wanted you to answer your honest truth. If you hold space, if you hear, if you listen, you have compassion, have empathy, you have awareness, you have wisdom. Give that to yourself, but remember that if you're capable of doing that when you interact with others in the world, that means that there is a return of that from the world to you. That means that the energy that you send out comes back. It doesn't mean that you won't find yourself facing the opposition. It means that there is a need. There is a need for what you know within your soul, your heart, within yourself. And the best thing that you can do for this world, for yourself, is to just take a chance, take that leap, believe in yourself, believe in everything that you hold, believe in what you feel so strongly called to. The communication breakdown. It's not going to be changed overnight. It's like looking at a huge marble block. The statue of David is not going to be created with one chip with a chisel. Creating, molding, bringing this into the world. It takes a million little chips. And it takes bravery for the one holding the chisel and the mallet. And your guides want you. They want you to hear yourself so that you know how brave you are in being able to be part of those called to chip at that block. Your voice, your story, everything matters. Which means that what you contain within yourself matters. Communicating with yourself matters. Understanding yourself matters. You matter. So I want to take a look at the theme energy here. And I have to tell you guys, so all of the piles have had different tarot cards. Yours is about magical adventures. Your tarot card was the fastest out of all the piles to pop out. I think I shuffled the deck, my usual clearing 3 times, and I do the rifle or, like just shuffle. I never know what it's called. I just shuffle. But I did it, I think, maybe 5 seconds, and this card just and landed where it was supposed to be. I was, holy cow, this energy, this adventure, man, it's been waiting for you, pile 4. It has been eagerly waiting for you. And it wants to be embraced. So let's find out. The world. Look at this. Look at the joy on her face. The world. I'm not even going to go into the cycles and endings and beginnings and all of that. No, this is the magic. The magic is what you have to give to the world. That's the adventure. The adventure is learning you. Because the magical adventure is the world for you. I've never had such a literal energy with a tarot card before. Yet that's what it feels like. It's the symbolism that I'm picking up from it is the hat. The hat is your magic. It's your wisdom. It's your awareness. It's your perspective. It's the communication that you have. That's why it's in the wind. That is the adventure. It's about taking the inner and bringing it out. Because of that understanding that you contain within yourself. I want to dive directly into the archetype. The forgotten, missed opportunities, and fear of failure. Fear of failure. My first day in therapy, and this is the first time I've seen a therapist in 3 years, but it's the first time that I made a conscious choice to seek a therapist who could help me address very specific things I was struggling with. Never had that intention. I just went to therapy because I needed somebody to talk to, because it was acceptable, because I needed safety, because I was forced into it. But this time it was different, and it is different. And one of the things that I said to her is, I do not fear success. I don't fear success at all. And she said, okay. I said, I fear failure. She asked why. I said, because I am afraid that I have something within me, a purpose, a wisdom, a teaching, something that is truly meant to help this world. And I will fail at bringing it forth. The fear of failure has not impeded my efforts, but because it contained deeper wisdom within myself, it impeded communication with myself. Because it was about perspective. There's a common saying that rejection is divine protection and intervention, that no opportunities that we perceive to be missed are truly missed, for there is something better. And it can feel like platitudes, and it can feel like sugarcoating everything. But it begs the question of whether you believe in a purpose within yourself, a destiny within yourself. Do you believe in that? Do you believe that you have a reason to be in the world right now? A world filled with chaos and a breakdown of communication so severe that we're screaming and we don't know why we're screaming. We're arguing and we don't know why we even have the stance we have, beyond this perpetual collective fear of illusions and lies and fallacy. It's hard to accept saying, I don't know. It's hard to say that. I had a hard time with that. I wanted control, so I needed to know. Until I decided I just don't. That struggle is too much for me. So I put it back in the divine's hand. I said, I don't need to know. I trust that if I do, when I do, you'll show me. You'll show me. And it helped. This archetype energy is for you to say, okay, where is it that I feel I have failed? Or where is it that I fear allowing myself to go because I don't want to fail? And I'm going to share something profoundly and deeply personal with you guys that I discovered by asking myself the hard question. As an author, one of my continual mental loops has been, I need to write fiction. I need to try fiction. I should try fiction. And I said, okay, fine. I'll ask myself the hard question. Why do I believe that I should write fiction? Why do I believe I should choose to write fiction? And I went on pages and pages and pages of what fiction novels have gifted to me in my life from childhood through adulthood. Awe and wonder and connection and home and family and understanding and hope, inspiration, magic, so many things, so many pieces, so much that I've gained from them. And I have such a passion inside of me about what they give to me. And my greatest dream in life is to write something, to create something where the words that I bring forth give to someone else what fiction novels have given to me. And in that moment of realizing, am I missing an opportunity, of believing that I was fearing that I was a failure, or fearing that I couldn't do it because I would fail, I realized that in 2020, when I had my huge awakening, my huge, second awakening, I'll call it a reawakening. It wasn't fiction novels I went to. It was spiritual, self-help, personal growth. And I had once or twice in my entire life, in my entire 33 years of life, once or twice felt pulled to any of those kind of books. I love learning, but when it comes to reading, I love fiction. I love the worlds created. I'm so in awe of the worlds that are created. Just so in awe. When I went through that reawakening, my first instinct was to write a teaching memoir. And that's what I did. And I started looking at what I do, what I write, the books that I write. And I realized that I was limiting myself into failure. I was limiting myself into the belief of a missed opportunity because I kept telling myself I should be writing fiction because I love fiction novels, but my desire had no specification of genre. None. My mind was limiting me. My heart was expanding. And I'm sharing this with you guys because we don't always realize when we limit ourselves until we ask ourselves some of the hardest questions. and then face it honestly and say, okay, I've been holding on to this like it's a pain, like it's a wound, like it's this horrible thing that I can't access, except it's contained within you. You just need to realize the bravery you contain within. So let's see what curiosity is awakening. Fortune's wheel, luck, and right timing. Imagine, if you will, I'm laughing because with this card, I get why I just told you that story about writing, because right timing, reawakening, suddenly it was self-help books for me to realize I just want to put words down that will reach someone the way that I've been reached. I came to the right time. I came to the right place, the right energy within myself and on my journey. What if everything in your life has been the right time? What if you are the luckiest person alive? And because of these fears that you're missing opportunities or that you failed, you haven't been able to perceive the luck that you've had. And that's why this is about a curiosity awakening within you, because this is about you actively shifting your own perception and seeing what you find based off of what you contain within yourself. Let's take a look at your earthy connection. This is something that can aid or help you. It's a crystal, and you guys can, if you have it on hand, this can help you. If not, you can always ask your guides to help connect you with the energy. But we have lapis lazuli. What it is, a deep blue stone with deep history. See ancient Egypt. Tutankhamun, I can't say that. Eyeshadow. The Old Testament with the high priest of Israel's vestments, and the Dutch Golden Age with Vermeer's palette. Who needs it? Cat people. Leos. Anyone who uses the phrase in a past life, I'm totally convinced I was a ... Where to put it? As a spiritual armor that lets the world know when I walk into a room, it's customary for y'all to bend the knee, and when to use it. When your thoughts are not your friends. Call on lapis lazuli to help get you out of whatever your mind has gotten you into. And it says, ascend your rightful throne. This is about you stepping into that energy of bravery, that energy of truth, of authenticity, of luck, of right timing, of what many would call destiny, purpose. To step into the life you have always desired. It's about your courageous calling. The sculptor, author, creator of your life. And those are not meant for literal, except for creator, because as the creator of your life, I mean, that is all encompassing. For you to own that energy within yourself confidently, to know that you have that within you, and start communicating with yourself that truth. Find out what your inner world has to say that challenges the truth of your courage, your bravery, your calling, your purpose, your success in this world. Because you have the ability, the fortune, and adventurous opening right here, right now, through this Sagittarius season and on. I just heard to do the damn thing. To do the damn thing, pile 4. All right, my loves, this is the message for you guys. I want to say thank you so much. Thank you to your guides, to my guides, to the Great Spirit. Thank you for the pep talk. Thank you for the extra fortification that you've gifted me in sharing such deep personal things with pile 4. Thank you for the space that pile 4 has held for me. And thank you for gifting me the opportunity to also hold space for them. Pile 4, if this resonated and you guys would like to support my channel, my creativity, my, books, whatever, I love it. You can do that by liking the video, commenting on it, sharing it, subscribing to my channel. There are also links in my description box for donating to my channel, a couple of links down there. And there is a link to my Amazon author page. All of my books are there. They are available in all formats: hardcover, paperback, Kindle, Kindle Unlimited. If you want to help and support me, those are the ways. I truly, truly believe in you, pile 4, and I appreciate you, and I love you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I will see you all at my next reading. Bye.